What's going on, guys? You asked for it in the last video, and it's about damn time I bring it. We're going to talk about music, because I've been talking a lot about the vinyl community and the vinyl, industry and the store, which are all really awesome things to talk about. But this channel started as me sharing music with you, sometimes with a co-host, sometimes just me. But today I am going to talk about music that I want to share with you, not only because it's badass music, but also because it sounds phenomenal on vinyl, which is the reason most, if not all of you, are watching this channel, to learn about what records you should add to your want list and hopefully get. So this video is going to be me talking about, I was going to do 5, but I couldn't decide. So it's going to be a weird number. 6, that's not 6, 6, 6 albums that are live albums that sound terrific on vinyl, not just because of the quality of the music, but the quality of the pressing. So I feel like this should appeal to some of you guys. If this is your first video on the channel, welcome. Please make sure you are subscribed and the bell is turned on so you do not miss out on any videos I put out, because there's gonna be a lot more moving forward. I mean, everyone just assumes I'm gonna talk about this record in this video because it's my most cherished record, but everyone knows I have it who watches this channel. If you don't, your jaw's about to drop. This is the Pearl Jam Live at Benaroya Hall box set, extremely out of print, going for thousands of dollars, and I have this insane story of how I got it signed by the full band. If you haven't seen that video, click it above because it's a really good video. It's one of my favorites on the channel. This is an amazing live show, and I think this is worth everybody owning if you can. Hopefully it gets an actual repress at some point, because right now the prices price out just about every collector on the planet. I feel very lucky to own this, but I'm not going to talk about that in the video. This is just a bonus. Let's talk about the ones I want to talk about. First up, we have this MoFi pressing of Bill Withers live at Carnegie Hall. This is just, it's just such a miraculous performance. I mean, Carnegie Hall is one of the most iconic music venues probably in the world, and Bill Withers is just such a consummate professional. He's such an incredible performer. I wish I could have seen him live. Pretty bummed about that. That's something I'll probably think about on my deathbed as a regret. But that being said, let's not make it super dark. Let's get back to the good stuff. So really nice gatefold, some awesome pictures of the show, which is cool. And as you've come to know with Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs pressings, they tend to sound phenomenal. These are from the original analog tapes. It's such a classic show, and what's good about it is the way that he extends so many of the jams. Like, first of all, Use Me is arguably my favorite Bill Withers song. It is just so smooth, so funky, so soulful. And the first track on here is Use Me, and it's like an 8-minute rendition of it. The song's like, what, like 4 minutes normally, maybe? It is such a wonderful, just like iconic performance of that song, and it just keeps going. I mean, he does a lot of classics. He does Ain't No Sunshine, Lean On Me. I mean, he's really kind of in the pocket for this performance, and I think maybe the best song on here could be I Can't Write Left-Handed, which, if you don't know that song, please listen to this version. So keep an eye out for this one if you're a fan of my man Bill. Allison Chains MTV Unplugged. This is a MOV pressing, and usually MOV pressings are pretty stellar. Some of them are a little bit of a miss, but this one in particular is an absolute hit. I think that this is my favorite MTV Unplugged performance. I know it's kind of blasphemous. I know a lot of people will say that, the classic Nirvana performance is the one to hold all others to standards-wise, but I think that this Allison Chains, I mean, the opening with Nutshell is such an amazing choice. It's such a great song. It does a lot of their heavier songs, a lot of their more like pretty songs. You get like, the No Excuses, the Heaven Beside You, some of the more like really like chilled out ones. Then you get some of the heavier ones like Wood, Angry Chair, of course, classic performance of Rooster. And this pressing in particular sounds phenomenal. I think it's the best sounding MTV Unplugged performance that I have on vinyl. And I have Nirvana's, of course. The ORG pressing of that is stellar as well, and on par with this, I would say, but I think this just slightly edges it out for me. I don't know why. I'm such a huge fan of Allison Chains, more so than Nirvana. I think that's probably what it comes down to, but if you can find this, grab it. It's out of print as far as I know, but I believe this one's ripe for a repress. It's no surprise for people that watch this channel that I am a huge fan of Eva Cassidy, and I have to thank a fan of this channel who introduced me to her incredible voice. Another artist that tragically passed away way too young. I'm really bummed I can never see her live, but this is the closest I will ever get to it, and it's kind of okay. I'm okay with that because this is such a phenomenal live show. Nightbird is just a series of, look how long this track, it's 4 discs. There's actually a 7-disc compilation, I believe, as well, which is just massive and arguably too much for me. I think 4 discs is usually my limit when it comes to records. I don't want to sit and flip for the entire day. But really, really nice, kind of right up in the middle in the gatefold, and full track listing. And it's just such a great series of Eva solo, Eva with her band. You get Eva's cover songs that she does so well. You also get some of her classics. The one thing it's missing is my favorite Eva Cassidy song, I Know You by Heart, which is on her Songbird album. And that's okay, because this has so much good on here, especially her beautiful cover of Fields of Gold. Easily the best version of that song. Sorry, Sting, just is. This is a great performance. It feels very raw. It feels like you're in the club listening with her. You know, obviously the sound is mixed in a way where it's a live performance, so it's not going to be like necessarily this like really crisp, punchy audiophile sound because of the way it was recorded, but I still think that on vinyl this really shines, and it gives you that kind of intimate feeling that I look for when I look for a live performance to listen to on my turntable. Definitely an essential if you're a fan of Eva, and if you haven't heard this, your mind's about to be blown. Alive 2007, which I think might be the greatest concert of all time, and I wasn't there, so that's just me being envious of those who did get to go to this iconic tour. And my whole life I was like, oh, they'll tour again. They'll do another tour. They'll do another tour. And they didn't, and they broke up. Daft Punk is amazing, and what's special about this show is that they took a bunch of their songs and basically mashed them up into 2 or 3 songs for each song that is played on this record. And it's done with such mastery. Like, mashups are awesome when they're done right. Like, I'm a huge fan of Girl Talk, but when a band like Daft Punk mashes up their own stuff and they have such an intimate knowledge of that music and like how it can work in an alternate way, I think that's extremely special. And something about this performance, it just, I would have died to have been there. I watch videos sometimes and I get really sad that I couldn't have been there. But that being said, this is again the closest I'll probably come, and this is such a punchy pressing. It is extremely dynamic. I couldn't imagine a better Daft Punk live show pressed to vinyl. The one thing I will say is that I remember this being a little quiet, so you have to turn your receiver or your volume up a little bit, but that's never a big issue for me. I mean, sometimes it's a little annoying when you don't realize it at first, but once you turn it up, this thing will absolutely soar aerodynamically. So make sure you check this out. Again, out of print. It was in print for a while, and I think recently, in the past year or two, it got out of print. So I think this one will get a repress as well. Just a hunch. Why are all these artists dead? Why am I just picking a bunch of dead artists? This is really unintentional. Chris Cornell, obviously my favorite vocalist. If you watch this channel, I've talked about him ad nauseum, but it's been a minute since I've talked about him, so let's talk about him a little bit right now. This is such an amazing performance. This wonderful acoustic rendition of various Chris Cornell solo songs, Audio Slave songs, we have Soundgarden songs, we got some covers in there. It's just such, oh, even, I think there's Temple the Dog as well, I believe, yeah. Oh yeah. So this is such a great performance, and this record is extremely out of print, but it's so iconic that it got a bootleg pressing. I think there's a couple different variants, and I know people that say it sounds good. I've listened to the bootleg, and I've listened to this, and I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna have to be that guy. This is night and day better. I noticed sibilance on the bootleg. It felt flat and lifeless and digital because it is. Not entirely sure if this is originally from tape or not. I don't know how this was recorded and mastered, but I will say that this kicks the butt of the bootleg. So if you can track it down and you are a big Chris fan, Songbook is an absolutely essential record for your collection. And I just, yeah, I wish I could have seen him live more. I only got the one time at the Temple of the Dog reunion show, but I'll remember it forever. And this is kind of like a comfort record for me because when I'm sad about the fact that I can't go see Chris Cornell ever again, I throw this on and it kind of like, you know, warms my heart in a way where it brings me back to like the reason why he was so impactful in my life as a big music fan. So definitely check this out. And I almost didn't include this because I feel like if you don't know, you're gonna mock me. But if you know, you know. John Mayer's Where the Light Is. This is again an MOV pressing. This is 4 discs. And here's the thing about John Mayer. I was a casual fan of John Mayer in high school. I liked his big singles, you know, not so much Your Body is a Wonderland, but more like, you know, Daughters and Gravity and things like that. I was into that for sure. But this is a testament to how talented John Mayer truly is. So John Mayer is just objectively one of the greatest guitarists of all time. I would put him in the top 20 without question. He has proven himself in so many different formats, and the fact that he just happens to do a lot of poppy music is just because that's what pays the bills. I don't think that's his true passion. I mean, you can hear that because this is split into 3 sets. There's an acoustic set, which has some really nice kind of like, you know, he has Neon and Daughters, and then he does a cover of Free Fallin', which is great. And then the trio set. The John Mayer Trio is this like kind of bluesy rock group that he did that really showcases his chops as a guitarist and a musician. And, you know, he has Bold as Love, you got Vultures. It's just a very, very solid set of like blues rock to show just his versatility outside of just the kind of poppier things that everyone kind of knows. But then you get a full band set, which is more of like the stuff that most people know him for. Like I said, Gravity's on there, and then Waiting on the World to Change. And then my favorite John Mayer song is Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, which is on here as well. And the good thing about this pressing is that not only does he sound good musically, the pressing is absolutely stellar. If you close your eyes, it's like he's in the room with you, which is what I look for with a lot of my more acoustic or live vinyl records, is that feeling of, wow, the person is actually here in the room, and you can almost like suspend your disbelief enough to kind of enjoy it on another level than when you're just listening to a record normally. And that's part of the reason why I love vinyl so much. So those are my 6 picks. I'm not gonna say those are the best of all time because it's subjective, but I will say it's hard to argue if you're a music fan that these sound phenomenal. That's kind of more of an objective thing, like how well the record is pressed and how you know, the music sounds beyond just the quality of the music to you. But I would love to hear what your picks are. I'm sure there's a ton of other exceptional live records that I do not own that I would love to. So do me a favor, leave a comment with what your thoughts are on these records, as well as your favorite live records. Try to pick ones that you love, not just because of the performance, because of the pressing, because I think that's always interesting to hear which albums have it, you know, have justice done to it, both by the music and by the quality of the pressing. So leave a comment. I hope you guys enjoyed this little showcase into a sneak peek of my live music in my collection. And there's more music videos coming soon, as well as some other really cool stuff I can't share yet, but look forward to it. I can't wait to explore this next phase of Too Many Records with you guys. So thanks so much for watching. Take it easy.